Hello, friends, and good evening. We are yet to begin, but we're going to begin any moment from now. So my name is Uzezzi Edegware, and I'm going to be the moderator for today's event. And I can see people are joining already. You're welcome as you join. As you're coming in, please get ready your pen and paper. I'm sure our guest today is going to give you some information that you're going to find very useful. So I'm going to roll in with the introduction very, very shortly. So in 1 minute, that's at exactly 2 minutes after 2, I'm going to begin with the introduction and introduce our guest, and then we're going to dive right in, because in the next 1 hour, we're going to have a super packed session that I'm sure we're all going to learn from. And yeah, you're welcome. So at exactly 2 minutes after 2, we will begin. Yes, friends, it's time. Welcome to our May session of our monthly meeting at Rise Investment Club. My name is Uzezzi Edegware, and I'm going to be the moderator for today. And so what are we doing today? For today, we're having a special guest in the house. And our special guest today is Uzezzi Edegware. So for today, Uzezzi is going to be sharing with us how to earn extra income. Especially using a freelancing website called Upwork. So if you are here with us today and this topic is exciting to you, you are in the right place. I'm sure there's no one who has too much of money, even if you earn a very good income. An extra won't hurt you. Even if you're not going to invest that extra, you can use that extra to increase your flexing money. Investing and making more money is not bad. You can always make more money. So welcome and welcome. So before we dive right in, I want you to meet our guest for today. Our guest is a lawyer and someone who has been making money with a side hustle as a freelancer, earning in foreign currency, USD to be precise, using a platform called Upwork. Her name is Uzezzi Edegware. So I'm going to give our guest an opportunity to do a short introduction, and then we'll dive right in. Uzezzi Edegware, you're welcome. Let's meet you, please.
Hi, Jessie, and hi, everyone. I didn't even know that was me we're talking about. Like Jessie said, my name is Uzezzi Edegware. I'm a lawyer and an entrepreneur. In my spare time, I provide administrative services on Upwork. And I'm here to tell you just how I do it and how you can also do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, some housekeeping rules. You are able to use the question and answer box when you have questions. I'm going to be looking into it, taking question and asking. We're going to give Uzezzi about 20 to 25 minutes to talk through how to use Upwork. And after that, we'll open the question and answer session. If you type your question ahead of time, I'm going to read some of those questions and ask her. In addition, we have some questions that have been sent in that we're going to ask her. So sit back, relax, and let's have Uzezzi take us through the session that we have today. So Uzezzi, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone. So today, yes, I'm going to be talking about Upwork and just how I earn on the platform. Everyone messages me and asks me, oh, what's Upwork? How does it work? How do I go about it? How do I earn dollars? And like Jesse said, no matter how much, you can never make so much money. No matter how much money you earn, you'd always want some more. So basically, Upwork is a marketplace, but for people who have skills to offer and people who want to pay for those skills. That's the best way I would describe Upwork. So yes, how do you get started on the platform? Before I go there, Upwork isn't for people who just want to, like I said, offer skills. If you also want to pay for skills, you can go on Upwork and hire somebody. It's really good for people who want to pay for skills because you get those skills at a cheaper rate than an on-site job. And if you're also offering your skills and you live somewhere like Nigeria, even though you're getting paid at a cheaper rate, because of the exchange rates, you actually make more money than you would make on site here, if that makes any sense. How do you get started? To get started on Upwork is pretty simple. You just go and sign up, have an application, provide your information, valid ID, and all of that. But the only difference with Upwork is, this is the difficult part rather, it's not like your Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, where you just provide a username, your phone number, and voila, you're on the site. With Upwork, you have to write an application to be allowed to be a freelancer on the platform. So how this works is, Upwork receives like thousands of applications every day, and they always to the clients to offer the best freelancers. And so you write an application, you can say something like, I have X number of years experience in so, and so. I've worked with, you list your portfolio, and my work has recorded, you state the value and all of that in that fashion. And it will go through a 24 hours period, after which you'll be emailed with an acceptance or rejection email. So it's not enough that you've applied and then you expect to be on the platform. You have to keep applying because you can keep getting rejected. That's the difficult part. For me, I had a very terrible experience with Upwork. Initially, I got the platform, I wrote an application. 24 hours later, I was expecting to just get an acceptance email, like, okay, thanks for your application, we've reviewed it, and it's all good. To my surprise, I saw rejection. And I was like, what do these guys want me to write? I tried again after 24 hours, I got a rejection email. And believe you me, I kept getting rejected for 1 full year. I did not believe it. For 1 full year, they kept rejecting me. So I went on a break for 5 months and applied again. And I took all my applications from the previous years. I looked at them. I was just wondering what I did wrong. And they wouldn't really say what you're doing wrong. They'll just say, oh, we received a lot of applications and we have to review it and get the best of the best. Okay, what did I do wrong? I don't know. And I had to just look at it and think of ways to improve what I had written before. And after my 5 months break, I applied again. After 24 hours, I got an acceptance email. And that was like the beginning for me. Well, that was stage 1. Now, when you get hired, when you get approved rather, it's not just the end. You now have to fight for jobs. Because remember, it's a worldwide marketplace. It's not just for Nigerians. There are Indians, Chinese people, everyone all over the world wants the same job you want. So what are the chances that they would hire you? And that's why you also have to stand out when you start bidding for jobs. When you want to apply for a particular job, you need to send something called a cover letter, introducing yourself and saying why you're a good fit for the job. And on the Upwork platform, when you want to apply for a job, you'll see something like, there are currently less than 5 proposals. And before you're done writing your proposal, your cover letter, And when you're about to submit, you can see 50 plus proposals. Everyone is sending theirs in, you know, and so just like may the best man win, basically. So that's something you should keep in mind when you want to start with Upwork. It's not just sign up, I'm here, I'm making dollars, look at me, I'm rich. That's really not it. So when I got on the platform, I was trying to be humble. I was trying to take it easy. So I would apply for jobs that were like $15, you know, $20. I wouldn't want to aim high, just in case I felt like I was inexperienced and I couldn't really offer much. So the first job I applied for was $50 and I did not get accepted. And I just kept looking and looking, and I saw some other ones. Before I even apply, I'll see 50 plus proposals, and I was like, you know what? So when I was about to close the app, I just saw one that was like $1,000. I was like, let me just do long throat and apply now. Who knows? And I applied for that job, and that was the first job I got. When I saw it, I had to ask my friend, please read this email. Are they saying I should work for them? What does this mean? I didn't believe it because I just did it. I saw it before I even closed the page, and I just tried. And when I saw that I was accepted for the job, I had to copy that cover letter I had, and I pasted it somewhere else to study it and use it as a guide for my future cover letters. So yes, with Upwork, you can apply now and get accepted tomorrow, and you'll find it hard to get a job for the next 6 months. You can get rejected for 1 year like me, and you land your second job. It's not a one size fits all. There is no method to this thing. Then things you should note to be a successful freelancer. Don't be too humble. And I'm saying this because we're Nigerians. We know the perception we have on the other side. We know how people feel about us. You know how they feel about us. And the fact that you have to disclose your location, right? I'm in Nigeria on your platform. I'm sure you all know what I'm trying to say. I was also worried about that. But then I'm like, I'm in Nigeria. Like, does that mean I'm not competent? I'm competent. So don't try to sweet mouth them or sound desperate or say, oh, even though Nigerians are known for blah, 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 I am blah, blah, blah. Don't even do that. Just apply like an American, the confidence of an American. Apply like that. Say what you have to say. There's a provision to add attachments and other documents. Add those documents. Just do what you need to do and keep it moving. Don't sound desperate. Don't try to kiss, forgive my French, kiss ass because you want to get the job. If you feel you're good enough, then just apply like a confident person. Also apply for jobs that you know you are qualified for. Apply for jobs that you know you can commit the time to. I work full-time as a lawyer. I have a 9 to 5. So I'm always at work from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. But I'm also like juggling my Upwork things. So don't say, oh, you don't have a full-time job and I also work, so I'm sorry I couldn't meet the deadline. If you cannot commit, don't even apply for the job because everything is going to be in the job posting. The hours they need you to work for, the job description, how often you have meetings, if any, and all of that. You should know beforehand before you apply because there's always going to be a review or feedback after each job you do. And if clients keep rating you low or giving bad remarks, it affects you in the long run. And Upwork is a platform where there are different fruits that you pluck. There are different things you try to gather to help you climb up the ladder, basically. So if you keep getting bad reviews, you just stay down and nobody wants to work with you. And you can't delete anybody's review of your profile. You can't do that, it's there. And this also goes for people who are actually paying for these services. When you're done with a contract, you can actually rate the client. So if freelancers keep complaining about a particular client, Upwork is going to just take them off the platform and say, you know what, people are complaining about you. You're definitely doing something wrong. So it's not just like everyone judges you and you don't get to judge another person. That's not how it works. It goes both ways. Obstacles I faced. I think the greatest obstacle for me was the time difference. Being in Nigeria, the time difference. Sometimes there'll be a meeting and the meeting is scheduled for maybe 1 hour before my closing time. So what if my employer needs me or is scheduled for my exact closing time? So I have to stay at the office and take that meeting. It can be for an hour or 2 hours. So I'm leaving the office at 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. when it's late. But then I knew it was what I signed up for. I knew that if it got to a point where I would have to take a meeting when I'm supposed to be driving back home, I knew I was willing to stay back at work and take that meeting. So you have to also consider all these things. I think another thing people would want to know, if I'm correct, is how you get paid, the money part. How do I get money? There are different payment methods. You can get paid directly, like into your bank account, or you can get paid through third-party payment vendors like Payuna and the likes. So when I started, I actually started using my GT bank account, just a normal account that you use on your POS and all of that. I started using my GT bank account. Obviously, there's always going to be a processing fee when you're getting paid. And I chose GT Bank because the processing fee was less than $1. It was 0.99 cents or something. So I chose that. But what I noticed was that the exchange rate was really bad. It was a Naira account. I see a question, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a Naira account. My normal Naira MasterCard. I don't have a dumb account. I've never had one. So I got paid into my regular account, my Naira MasterCard. And so the exchange rate was really low. It was, and I still believe it is, 361 or 360. Generally, the exchange rates are really low, to be honest, but when you're making dollars anyway, it doesn't really matter like that. It was about 360 or 361. And then I went on the Payona website and I read about it, and I was reading about their fees and all of that. And it seemed like it was going to be better. However, the processing fee was $2. But if the exchange rate is higher, it doesn't matter if the processing fee is $2. So I signed up on Payona and I changed my payment account to my Payona account. And Payona paid at 371. At 371. So when you get paid, if you're getting paid into your regular Naira bank account, you have a milestone. When you're done with the job, the milestone gets approved on Upwork. When it gets approved, they have to process it within the platform for 5 days. After 5 days, you see it in your profile as your earnings. So let's say you do a $500 job, and then you have the money in your earnings after the processing period. You now go to a place where it says get paid, and it shows the payment method you've chosen. So it will show your Naira MasterCard and you choose OK. And I think it's actually immediately, maybe within 24 hours, you get an alert. Literally, you get an alert on your phone from GT Bank or Zenith Bank, and you've been paid. However, if you're getting paid through a third-party vendor like Payona, it gets paid from Upwork to your Payona wallet, and then you go on Payona and you withdraw it into your Naira account. That's how that works. For other countries like Kenya, there's something called M-Pesa. There's PayPal for countries that can use PayPal, and all of that. If you also have a US account, you can also use that. I just don't have one. So yes, and then, sorry, 1 second, Jesse, I see questions coming up. Should I answer those questions right now as I'm speaking, or?
We'll get to the questions.
Okay, great. Okay, and then when it comes to the charges as well, I think it's really good to know how much you're actually going to part with. Upwork charges you a service fee for $0 to $500. I think it's 20%. For $501 to about $1,000, it's 10%. And from $1,001 upwards, it's 5%. However, this is a lifetime billing per client. I'll explain what this means. So for example, RiceVest says, Uzezzi, do this thing for us. We're going to pay you $500, right? And they pay the money into escrow on Upwork. Cost is $500 and it's within that 20% threshold. Upwork will take 20% of that. However, if I said we'll pay you $600, Upwork will charge 20% on the first $500 and 10% on the other $100. And let's assume I build up to maybe $10,000 with Rise the first time, and they charge me 5%. If I get a second job, it doesn't matter that I've made $10,000 now. When you get another job and it's $500, they'll still charge you 20%. So it applies per client, how much you built with that particular client, which is why I always advise trying to get long-term jobs and foster a good relationship with your clients. So you keep getting paid by those clients and you reduce your fees, if that makes any sense. And so yes, that's it. And then when you try to withdraw, obviously the processing fee I mentioned based on your withdrawal method also applies. But when you get to a point where you're making a lot of money, truth is it wouldn't really matter. You wouldn't really care. You wouldn't even feel it at that point. So I think that's really all there is to Upwork. I don't think I'm missing anything else.
Okay, thank you so much. There are a series of questions, but number one among the questions, which I also have, is thank you so much for taking us through this. It's a unique experience. I mean, I've never applied for Upwork before. I have never tried it before, but the way you have taken us through it, my interest is piqued. Audiences wants to know, first, what did you do differently that got your application approved? I remember you saying you didn't really know, but do you have the slightest idea what must have been responsible for your application going through eventually?
Okay, I mean, I have an idea. I don't know for sure, but I have an idea. So I'll start by saying this. I wrote something, like a guidebook on how to go about starting an Upwork career. And when I got to the parts that talked about your application, basically what you're referring to, I wanted to actually put my first application there for people to actually see what I wrote and understand why it was a bad application. But it was so bad that I was too embarrassed to even put it. So yes, that's where I'm going to start. My application, so humble. And I was saying, hi, my name is Uzezzi. I am 26 years old. I am this, I that, I this. I didn't even talk about any value I created, and it sounded like I was begging, like, oh, if you, and all those ever. No, I will never do that. My second application, well, my other applications subsequently were not that great. I still didn't get accepted. But the one where I got accepted, I tried to be very relaxed. I had a very casual tone. I wasn't very official and barista. I was just Uzezzi that likes to talk. That was who I was. I used a lot of exclamation marks to show like excitement and all of that. One thing people don't know is that everything counts as experience. So I thought I was inexperienced, but the internships I had done in school counted as experience. Doing stuff for my dad, who's a lawyer, counted as experience. I have small businesses that I manage on Instagram. I've learned some soft skills from just running those businesses myself, some marketing skills, all of that is experience. So I just worded them very nicely to show you that basically I have management experience, marketing experience. I know how to use some project management tools like Basecamp and Microsoft Teams, which I use because I work in an office. Things like that. I threw them all in there, but I made sure it wasn't overwhelming. And I kept it very relevant. Everything I wrote was relevant. I didn't want my application to be too long. I would only make it longer if the extra information was relevant. And I tried to make it sound like I was an interesting person and you would want other clients to experience that side of me. So that was what I did differently. I didn't talk about my age, my background. I didn't talk about any of that. I just went straight to what I've done, the value I've created, the value I can create, the soft skills I have, the hard skills I have, and I made it fun. That was what I did, and I got accepted.
Oh, thank you. I can see that you were very clear about just being yourself in the application, and you use some creativity, tapping into things that were substance from the things you have done. And then that must have added more credibility to your application. It wasn't something you did in a hurry. You learned from the bad ones and you did it better. Thank you. Now,
yes,
you kept going through the rejections. I'm sure there is one or two things we can learn from that. I mean, 1 year, you waited 5 months, you went back. What drove you? What was your motivating factor?
Okay. Okay, the thing is, my motivating factor was I don't want to be poor. That's just the truth. I don't want to be poor. And I first heard about Upwork when I can't remember who told me. There was this guy, I think he lives in Ibadan, and he was working as a PA, well, a VA, virtual assistant instead. And he was making so much money. And we all know it's relatively cheap to live in Ibadan. So if you're making thousands of dollars and you live in Ibadan, you can only imagine the kind of life that person is living. And when I heard about it, I just said to myself, so is it that you don't have sense and you cannot apply? I just said it in passing and I forgot about it. And one day, maybe I saw the Upwork logo somewhere or I saw something about it and I was like, wait, oh, this thing is true. Let me even go and see. And I applied. And I was just getting rejected. And it was a very excruciating process because it's not like you can just do it immediately. You have to wait 24 hours to know first. So imagine 24 hours for 1 year, every 24 hours. It's just frustrating. But I knew that if I got a chance to get on that platform, I knew I was going to make money. I already believed in myself. This is a very cliche thing to say, but I already believe in myself. If I'll bank on anyone, I'll bank on myself. I knew I was going to make money if I got on that platform. So just getting that acceptance was like the block I had to pass, and I was determined to pass that block. I'm like, let me even see what's in that Upwork. Let them just accept me first. So I just kept applying. In fact, I already had my previous application, so there was already a template. It was just to word it better and improve on the previous one, and then reapply. So as soon as I get my rejection, I'm resending. As soon as I get my rejection, I'm resending. Sometimes I would even improve on the one I just sent because I'm already expecting the rejection. So that I'll just copy and paste and send it back to them. That was what I was just doing. I knew I was going to make some money, and I knew I didn't want to be poor. I didn't want to rely on a salary and all of that. So yeah, that was basically what motivated me.
Thank you so much. It's a good thing that they gave you more room to be able to reapply and you eventually got in. Now, our listeners are curious. You're a lawyer. You got a job on Upwork. Are you comfortable enough to tell us what are some of the jobs that people can apply for on that platform? And if you also want to tell us the one you applied for, I mean, just run us through what are some of the jobs. You know, you mentioned one now that someone from Ibadan applied as a virtual assistant. So I'll take that as an example. So what are the other kinds of job that haven't been on that platform you've seen, and some of the ones you've applied for, and some of the ones our audiences can go on that platform to apply for?
Okay, so there are a lot of things that aren't really my field or my forte, but I've seen them while I looked for other jobs. I currently provide administrative services as a project manager. A project manager is just basically somebody that organizes a team. So there's a technical team, there are editors, there are, clients, interns. You just make sure everyone meets their deadline and they're doing what they want and all of that. That's just what I do. As a lawyer, I totally avoid anything legal, to be honest, because I just don't want to come from work after doing legal. if you're going to offer certain legal services, you need to understand the law of that jurisdiction. I'm only called to the Nigerian bar, so I think my knowledge in that is very limited. You can also provide paralegal services. You can be a virtual assistant. You can provide graphic design services. If you're very good at Canva, just making posters and stuff, not even using Adobe and all of those things to create your own design, just literally Canva where there are templates, you just change the color of this, you just write arrow and an arrow comes out and you carry it and you drag it on the picture and just create a poster. People get paid for stuff like that. I've seen a job, there was a job I applied for which I didn't get. I also, trust me, I also get rejected even up to now sometimes. A job I applied for where someone said, he's looking for someone in Abuja to go to a particular location and check if a particular office exists in that place. I was like, okay, I have a car, so why not? I'll just go and check for you and come back and tell you, okay, take a picture of the building and say, okay, this office actually exists. That was literally the job. On the science side, if people who do programming and all of this IT techy stuff, they even make the most money to me. People who make a lot of money on the art side are copywriters. Copywriters get paid incredibly well. It's unbelievable. You can also provide what skills? Literally anything, to be honest. You can help people review their essays. You can help them proofread their work. You can help people transcribe. I also provide transcription services, just services as a lawyer. And every time we have a hearing, I have to transcribe what was done. So I decided to create another profile. You can have different profiles under your profile. So a sub profile of mine is transcription. So I provide those services as well, but majorly project management. So anything and everything, there are about 11 of them, but I don't have them in my head right now, but they're like 11 categories, and you can provide services under any of them.
All right, thank you very much. What's the URL to Upwork?
www.upwork.com.
Upwork.com. Thank you. And this is really very interesting. I'm learning quite a lot from what you have shared. Most importantly, you said something about there are lots of people applying for job on Upwork.
Yeah.
So that brings about some kind of competition. So it's easy for someone who wants to get on Upwork to be discouraged that, what if I am not picked? So what would you say to such a person? Because some people think some of the challenges in Upwork is getting clients. So what would you say to such a person?
Well, I'll first say if you're not picked for job A, you'll be picked for job B. That's the truth. If you are consistent on Upwork, you won't get rejected forever. And again, because sometimes people worry that they don't have any work history on their profile, something you can do, which I didn't know I could do until later, so I'm willing to share, is that even if let's assume you want to start providing Canva posters on Upwork, but nobody has hired you, so you don't really have work history on the platform. There's actually a provision for testimonials. So if you've done something for somebody before, like your friend, just off the platform, they can actually write reviews and testimonials for you. So you send them a link through Upwork, and when they review, it's on your Upwork profile as though you've done jobs on the profile. So everything you've done for someone at any point in time, just send the link to them for them to leave testimonials for you. It also helps to build your credibility for people to see that you've worked and you concluded, you finished the job and you got paid for it. You can have that as some work history before getting your first job on Upwork. And I'll say you have to be consistent. You can't get tired. If you really want to do this, it's frustrating, or it can be for some, and it might not be for others, because you can get accepted now and get a job tomorrow. It's just different experiences for different people, but you have to be consistent. There's no work if you stop applying. You just have to be consistent. You can apply for 5, 6 jobs a day, 2 jobs a day, 3 jobs a day, and constant application also helps with the visibility. More people see you, because on the client end, apparently freelancers get recommended to them and suggested to them. And it all depends on how often the freelancer applies. So just move up the ranks, and it helps your visibility. Even if you're getting rejected, someone else can invite you to a job. I've also been invited to a job I did not apply to. I always thought like it was the top freelancers that have earned like $5 million that would only get invited. And I got an invitation. And I was like, oh, wow. Just because that period I was applying for different things. And even after reading my profile, they invited me for lead generation, which was something I never even thought about in my life. So yes, you just have to keep applying. It might not be the nicest experience, but you have to keep applying. That's the only way. And keep improving yourself and read other people's profiles online. You can just Google it, you will see people's profiles, just read it and see what they're doing differently.
Okay, thank you. You did mention that you did a kind of job where you went to a location to view a building. I remember someone sending me a request if I know how they can reset password of a particular investment account that they have online. So I know that some weird kind of requests like that get paid for. But what about safety on a job like that? I mean, who takes care to be sure that you're fine when you're executing the job? Is there any of such provision?
Okay, like if somebody is trying to pay for you to do it. Did I get you correctly, Jesse?
Sorry, I lost you for a bit. Go ahead.
I said, I'm asking like if someone is trying to pay for you to do something you should not be doing.
No, like the Abuja job. I mean, a job. Is there anything like job safety? That's what the audience says. Does Upwork guarantee safety of the job? Just like the Abuja example you gave, there could have been a safety issue.
Yes, I understand. I mean, Upwork, first, that job, I actually didn't get it. It was a posting I saw and I was willing to do it, but I wasn't hired for the job. But that aside, Upwork would encourage you to report anything that looks fishy. How the jobs are, you have like a timeline, like a timeline, how you just see, I need someone to do this, someone to do that. You just keep scrolling down and you just see hundreds of jobs. That's how it works. So if you just come across something that looks fishy, you flag it and Upwork would look through it and take it down if they think it's fishy. They can't be everywhere at the same time. If you see something that's wrong, I've seen where someone said, I need someone to help me hack my girlfriend's phone or something like that. I've seen something like that before. So it's a freelancer who would see it and report it. If you agree to do the job, I don't really know what Upwork will do about it if they are not aware that something like that is on their platform. It's a different thing if there's an algorithm that picks out different keywords and traces those things or fishes out those things. But they encourage freelancers to report things that shouldn't be there because you get to see all the job postings because everything is on your feed. So they encourage you to report things that shouldn't be on there because they can't pick out everything themselves.
All right, thank you very much. Just to refresh the meeting for those who are just joining. So we've been speaking to Uzezzi Edegware. Uzezzi is a lawyer by day, and at her free time, she's a freelancer at Upwork, where she offers services and earn in USD. If you want to learn more about Upwork, you can go to www.upwork.com. From what she's discussed with us, you have to first write in an application for your profile to be accepted. After that, you can start bidding for work. And from what she's discussed with us so far, there is nothing really worth doing that is going to add value to your life that is not going to challenge you at first. Indeed, we have learned very well that she had to go through many obstacles, but she never stopped. Even now, she still gets rejected, but she still gets to do bidding for jobs. Now, when you earn the extra income, I want to take this to a different direction now. There's what we call lifestyle inflation, when people
Okay.
get more money. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, sure.
When people earn more money, they probably just splurge it and all that. Now, when you have such increase in income, as someone who invests, what do you think would be a best way when someone is now having an increase in income? What can the person do?
So I think you should first reward yourself for, getting to that point. Reward yourself. For me, I'm not going to lie, I'm someone that struggles with rewarding herself. I struggle with spending money. So if I get $1,000 today, I might just reward myself with $50. That's the truth. Because I just feel like, okay, I'm young. This is time to just manage and suffer small so that later I can just relax. But give yourself something you know is enough to survive, maybe for that month or for that period. Don't overdo it. Don't go and, unless you get paid $100,000 on Upwork or something. I mean, it just depends on what you earn, what you get on your first job. But give yourself something, but go and save, go and invest rather. Not save, but yeah, go and invest. Put some money aside. Normally, what I do, I have to just relate it to myself. When I get paid, I think of the things I would have done for my salary, and I just do them. So if I get paid, I can say my laundry money is here, my housekeeper's money is here, my hair money is here, my spa money is here. I do all that. And then whatever is left, I share between maybe RiceVest and crypto. I'm not trying to make you feel good, but I actually do share between RiceVest and crypto. So when my salary comes, it's just money that I don't even have to use to pay any bill anymore, because I've paid certain bills from my Upwork money when I get paid. So yes, if you get money, also leave some money in your Upwork balance. I didn't mention this, but every time you bid for a job, you pay something called Connects. Connects is actually very cheap, even to buy $1, or I think $3, $6, just depends on how many Connects you want to buy. But because I don't want to use my money to start paying for it, like from my card, I like to leave maybe $6 balance in my Upwork wallet. So when I want to get more Connects, I just use that balance there to buy it. So leave some money in your Upwork. Don't clear it and be back to 0.00. You can leave $10. Every time you get paid, leave $10 there and withdraw the rest. So that anytime you need to get Connect to bid for a job, you just use from that money that's there. It's still basically free money. Just use from that money that's there to pay for it, so you don't incur any extra expenses outside of that. So, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about Upwork Connect?
Connect, okay. So Connect are like a virtual currency. When you want to apply for a job, every job has a number of Connects attached to it. For very simple tasks, it could be 2 Connects. Very, very rarely it can be no Connect at all. Very rarely. I've only seen that once since I started working on Upwork. Maybe it's even non-existent at this point. I don't know, but I'll just say very rarely 0. But let's say the minimum is 2 and the maximum is 6. The maximum is 6. So some jobs can require 2 Connects, some can require 4, some can require 6 Connects. When you first start on Upwork, you have a freelancer basic profile and you have a freelancer plus profile. I'm on freelancer basic because I want to just get a job, make my money and go out. I don't want to be paying for anything extra on the platform, to be honest. So when you first sign up, if you're a freelancer basic freelancer, you have 40 free Connects. So they give you free Connects to start your journey, basically. And if you're on Freelancer Plus, you have 80 free Connects. That's a lot of Connects if you apply for the right types of jobs, basically. So every time you apply for a job, they take Connects depending on how many Connects that job requires. And truth is, sometimes you exhaust your Connects and you've not gotten any job. And that is more likely than not. So you have to purchase Connects, but they've priced them pretty decently to help you. That's why I said $3, $6, $9. I think the max is $12. And $12 is for like either 120 Connects or something like that, or 80 Connects, but it's a lot of Connects. So you have to purchase that. However, besides purchasing, for me, I like to explore other avenues before I think about using my money to purchase. That's why when I got a job, I left some money there to use for future connects. Also, you can actually make more connects when you there's something called an Upwork readiness test. They just ask you different things about the platform to see if you really understand. Like the things I'm asking you now, they might ask you about connects or about applications to see if you really know it. So if you pass that test, you get 40 connects. And I only just took the test like this month actually. All this while I didn't take the test. I just took the test this month because I was out of connects and I got the extra ones. Also, every time you apply for a job and you get invited to that job and you respond to that invitation, you get 10 free connects. Now, this is different from the invitations you get because of visibility. You don't get any connects for responding to those invitations. You only get connects for responding to invitations for jobs you actually applied to. So there are different ways to, scout and gather connects here and there before you even consider now using your money to buy it. So that's basically how connects work, because the platform is also a business. It has to make money one way or the other. And I think that's one of the ways that they make money.
Thank you so much for shedding more light on what Connect is and how Connect can be useful for those who get on the Upwork platform. Most importantly, before you even get across to using Connect, it's important for you to create a profile. You need to write a winning application that gets accepted.
Yes.
It looks like Upwork itself wants to ensure that the people that are coming onto the platform are quality people, so that quality people requesting for people to submit application for job, so then the platform end up being a quality platform. Now, some of our guests want to know, is it possible for them to see a sample of a cover letter? I know that's the question. And I also know that you have just written like a kind of an ebook or a step-by-step process where people can really understand how they can really get started freelancing on Upwork. So they're asking if there is a template. I don't know. Uzezzi, do you want to go for that question?
Yes, I mean, I won't be able to recite a template to you, but like Jesse said, in my guidebook, I gave a template of a profile you shouldn't have and a profile you should have. So with certain things you shouldn't do. So actually, that's what you're requesting is in my guidebook. You'll see there, you should have a profile. I put like an example, just something I came up with to give you an idea. And because the same method you use to write your applications is the same method you use to write your cover letters. So that sample in my guide covers applications and cover letters.
How about if you had to give us at least 3 points to look out for in a winning cover letter? Let's say I meet you up in the lifts now and I just tap you, that's you, give me 3 points in a very winning cover letter. Can you please give us 3 points?
Okay, keep it brief. There was some, okay, I'll still tell you, this is actually my guidebook, but I'll tell you. Something I said is, I came up with something called the BRA method, BRA. Keep it brief, keep it relevant, and keep it accurate.
Brief, relevant, and accurate. BRA.
Yeah.
That is very simple.
So it doesn't have to be too long. It can be long, but if it's long, everything has to be relevant. Don't put anything that's not relevant in there. So keep it brief. Let them understand, let them know who you are and what you're trying to, what the service you'll be offering once they start reading the first 2-3 lines. Keep it brief, keep it relevant, and keep it accurate. You have to proofread. They frown at bad grammar, switching between British English and American English, using the S and the Z in different sentences. You have to stay consistent. So yes, I would say keep it brief, keep it relevant, keep it accurate. I'll even tell you something else. Stop this I am, I know how to, I can. It's annoying. Don't try. You can still paraphrase it, still talk about yourself, but don't say I. Switch it up. Use other words first. Don't I this, I that. You can say I, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying dodge I. But the first line, I am this, I can do this, I know this, I have that. It's just too much. And somebody else is really writing a bomb cover letter and they'll just not even look at you anymore. And something else actually is that Upwork has an algorithm. So it's not like somebody is looking through 10,000 applications to pick you, because who would do that really? There's an algorithm. And so you need to know how to take advantage of keywords, certain words. Something I've gotten to learn over time is that most of the time, the words that would help you get noticed are actually already in the job posting. So if they say something like, I'll still use what I do for an example. We need a project manager to organize our blah, blah, blah. You need to make sure in your application, you're either saying something that has to do with project manager or project. You're mentioning some project management tools like Basecamp, Asana, Monday.com, all those things. You're saying something like, my core competencies are, you're naming all these skills. You can say you're a team player. These are things that help your application. Not, I don't have any experience, but I can try. It's just very lazy. So you can see the difference between the application I'm saying you should have and the one I'm saying you shouldn't have. So yes, I think that's a very good way to guide you on how to go about writing the applications for cover letters.
Thanks for being very generous, Uzezzi. Thank you so much. Now, I know we've covered this before. Someone is asking, how do you get paid to use a regular Nigerian bank account? Yes, Uzezzi did say that she doesn't have a domiciliary account. She started off using a regular Nigerian bank account. And later she started collecting her money through a third party, which she also mentioned. Now, there's a question here. Would you advise an undergraduate student to have an Upwork account? Uzezzi, would you encourage an undergraduate student to have an Upwork account?
Of course. I mean, as long as you're above 18, because if you're less than 18, you actually can't be on the platform, and if they find out, that they take your profile down. But as long as you're above 18 and you have some skills that you're very good at, anybody can have an Upwork account. I would advise you to have it more than anybody, in fact.
Cool. Thank you. Now look at this way. Uzezzi already mentioned that. Don't apply. Don't bid for a job if you know you can't commit to it, which means that you need to be very sure that you want to do the job. You need to have a good job etiquette. Getting job done, otherwise it's going to backfire against you when you're reviewed for the job you've done, and you might not really take advantage of Upwork the way you should have. Now, we are about to come to the end of this session. Uzezzi, you've been very wonderful. This session you are attending is brought to you by Rise Investment Club. We have a group on Telegram where we dish out information similar to this, and primarily on a different investment platform, we commit to helping people know how they can make money, make more money, manage their money efficiently and effectively, and invest their money. In summary, we are committed to helping people to be money smart. So I know you want to be money smart. You don't just want to make a lot of money. You want to make the money. You want to be able to manage the money effectively, and you want to be able to put the money to work. And that's what RiseVest is all about. Yes, someone did say that he has been on RiseVest for a while and is finding it very difficult to understand how RiseVest is. I say, look at the link in the comment page, in the comment chat section, join our Telegram community. We're going to hook you up with the information. But in summary, RiseVest is a platform. We are asset managers. We are professionals at this. And this is what we say at Rivers. We say, it's okay for you to be busy at your day job. Live your life and let us worry about the volatility in the market, professionally handling your asset for you. You can invest in real estate, you can invest in stock market, and you can invest in fixed income. But you're not investing directly. We are managing the asset on your behalf, and you can have a dashboard where you see your return yourself. Any final note from you, Uzezzi?
Yeah, so I'll just say that I really encourage everybody to explore a career in freelancing. There is so much you can do, because honestly speaking, I did not even think this was possible. And I know it's easier to say when you're already on the platform. It's always like, hey, you're lucky, you can talk now, you're already doing it. But the same thing I said to others who were on the platform when I wasn't on the platform. And because I've done it, I know that it's worth it. It's worth your time. You would save so much money. It's so much more easier now. I don't have to worry so much about certain things. It has also made me, even working on Upwork, has made me develop other skills that I didn't even have when I started. So it's a chance for you to sharpen the skills you had before and also get new ones. If not for anything, that counts for something. So I think everyone should try to do that, and also get my guidebook to see just how you can do that from start to finish.
In addition, please, can you tell them how to get the guidebook?
Okay. I have a community I'm growing. It's called Fluent Freelance, like fluent in English. So Fluent Freelance on Twitter. If you go to @Fluent Freelance on Twitter, it's the link in our bio. We would also be sharing more tips, and I'll also interact with you there if you have more questions and any other thing you need. If you have any trouble or you want to just run something by me on Fluent Freelance, I would also be sharing more tips that I get as I continue my freelance journey. So I'll always be giving you guys expo tips, tricks, ways to cut corners. I'm sorry, I'm not a crook, but yes, all of that, because everybody has to make this money either ways. So I really want to
help you change that. How about we call it hack? Simple hack. Instead of calling it cut corner, simple hack to help you get hired faster.
Okay. Hack. So it doesn't sound that bad. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much, Uzezzi. The last 1 hour.
I'll be sharing that on Fluent Freelance on Twitter. If you follow the page, you will see it in our bio.
All right. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us on this session. And don't go away without joining our Telegram group, because we have conversation around making money, managing money, and growing your money every day of the week on our Telegram group. And of course, next month, we're going to bring another guest, another exciting session for you. We are committed to helping every African investors to be smarter in how they handle their money. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot easier for you to achieve your financial freedom at the end of the day. Thank you so much. And I remain Jesse Oguntimei. Have a beautiful day. Uzezzi, have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye, friends.
You too. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.